Hi everybody, Erica Crane here, and today I have a video kind of on top of my hair bleaching video that I put up a little while ago. I had to cut out a lot of do's and don'ts or tips I had that I was talking about as I was bleaching my hair. I had to cut a lot of those out to make it a little bit shorter, which it was still a little long, but I wanted to make a separate video to let you guys know all those, so that people that are beginners or that maybe their hair keeps coming up yellow or they keep frying it, and good for you if you keep trying, because that's all you can do. That's how I was. But hopefully this will help you stop frying it, help you get the yellow, help you tone it so it's not so yellow anymore. And first things first is, I am not a professional. I'm pretty sure I said that in the other videos, but I just want to say it again. I am not a hairdresser. I did not go to hairdressing school. I started bleaching, the first time I bleached my hair, which I might say again later, but I was 16, and I just did it with my friends, and you know, it wasn't anything I knew what we didn't know what we were doing, but we wanted to color our hair and we knew we had to bleach it to do it first. So it's been over 20 years. I'm 37 now, and these are just things that I've learned from other people. Some of them have been professionals, some of them have been on YouTube. Things I've learned just from trial and error of bleaching my hair and frying it and having it yellow and all that when I didn't want yellow hair. Yeah, so just up front, not a professional, just everything I've learned about doing my hair myself. And I hope these tips help you, and let's get started. So I made a little list of I pretty much listed it as do's and don'ts, but I guess it's pretty much that. So first tip, our first do, let's go, I want to start with the do's. There's a little bit more of those, but when you're bleaching your hair, you want to always use volume 20. Don't use anything higher. Higher will just fry your hair faster. Even with checking it, it will hard to make sure you're not frying your hair. 20 volume goes a little bit slower. The higher the number, pretty sure it goes like all in 10 increments. I don't think it goes in 5. I've only seen it in 10 increments. So that's the first thing. Before, so you can see, I'm sitting on my bed, so my dogs are happy I'm at their level today. So that's one thing. Another thing is, I kind of mentioned it with that, is after you have your head covered, I always check it every 10 to 15 minutes. If you're getting to the end of your, just, you know, it's not quite where you want it, which it still might not quite get to platinum with just bleaching. We'll get to another step to help you get there, but check it every 10 to 15 minutes. If you're getting towards the end, maybe every 3-5 minutes. Just, you constantly want to check it, just so that you know you're not frying your hair, because you can feel it. Rub your hands through it, not rub your hands through it, but feel your ends, and you'll know if you're frying it. You'll feel the texture. If it gets, I call it gummy. If you can stretch your hair like a rubber band, you've fried it. It is done. You need to rinse it out, wash it out immediately. When you are waiting for it to process, you want to cover your head with a plastic bag, like a plastic bag from the store. I use little trash bags that I get from the Dollar Tree that are meant for like little itty bitty trash cans. They're great. They're $1. There's a whole roll. I want to say there's like 75, 100 on a roll. so it lasts a really long time, and you can get ones that smell like vanilla. One thing is bleach has a chemical reaction to metal. Foil's different. Like if you're in a salon, you get your hair done in a salon and they bleach your hair and they roll it up in sheets of foil. That's aluminum, so it doesn't have reaction. It's actual metal. So like when you're parting your hair and you're putting it up, you don't want to use bobby pins because those are metal. You don't want to use metal clips. You want to use some kind of plastic clip like this one. Yes, it has a tiny bit of metal there, but that's really not going to hit your hair with the bleach. So you always want to make sure you use plastic clips. Always mix it in a plastic bowl. If you don't have plastic, but you have glass, you can use that. You just don't want to use a metal bowl. Right? When I see people using it, I always cringe because I'm like, oh, you can really damage your hair with using metal. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track on where I'm at. Bleach kind of has a stopping point with it on your hair. It is about 40-45 minutes, which I don't recommend anybody leaving it in their hair for that long. I leave it in for max 25 minutes, and probably shouldn't even do it that long on my hair, but I'm usually just doing my roots. So bleach has a stopping point about 40-45 minutes. It pretty much means it's not bleaching your hair anymore, but it is still damaging your hair. So you never want to go over that point. Even if you feel like it's not gummy, it's not quite to that point, you really should rinse it out because it's not going to get any lighter. If you have virgin hair and it's really dark, that's probably the only time you'll stretch your hair to that length of time of the bleach being on your head. Otherwise, I do not recommend leaving that on. I've learned the hard way. I have fried my hair very many times. So before bleaching, I guess I could have brought this up at the beginning, but a thing of actually we'll do this because now I'm kind of at the don'ts is you never want to bleach your hair. My dogs are playing. You never want to bleach your hair when your hair is freshly washed. Like say you wash your hair in that morning, you want to bleach your hair that night. I don't recommend doing it because that still hasn't given your scalp enough time to sorry. You haven't given your scalp enough time to develop oils again after washing your hair. So I recommend waiting at least 2 days. 3 would be preferable. I know some people wash their hair every day. I don't. I feel like if you wash your hair every day, my hair just doesn't get greasy fast. I know a lot of people's hair do get greasy fast. Maybe a suggestion that use a spray shampoo one day. Wash your hair one day, use a spray shampoo or a dry shampoo, sorry, the next day, and then bleach it maybe that night. Like, you want to give your hair some time to build up its natural oils. Say you're giving your hair maybe a 24 hours, almost 48 hours, and you're still a little hesitant, but that's the only time you have time to do it, which I understand. I've been there. And there is a way to give your hair a little bit more protective, something natural, not expensive, and that is coconut oil. This is just a brand I've got at the grocery store. It says virgin, but you don't have to you just get whatever. Coconut oil is coconut oil when you're going to use it for your hair. Lather your hair in coconut oil. You can rub it in your hands and it will melt it a little bit more. Set it in a windowsill in the sun for a little while. Let it melt. Just slather your whole head of hair with it. Let it soak in if you can. I personally can't because I don't like sleeping with like a plastic thing on your head to not damage your pillowcases. If you can, leave it in overnight. That's even better. If you can't do that, leave it in for an hour. Leave it in for 2 hours if you have the time. And then bleach right over it. Don't rinse it out. Don't wash it out. Because of course you don't want fresh hair. But just leave it in long enough that it has a protective layer on your hair. And bleach right over it. It doesn't affect the bleach, but it helps protect your hair. Pretty much the last don't, unless something pops into my head, is don't scrub the bleach into your hair. I know when I used to use box dyes, and then when I put in my fun colors, you can scrub that in and rub it in and pretty much lather it if you want to, almost in a way like if you're washing your hair, you lather your hair. You can do that motion with box dyes, besides blonde box dyes, because those do sometimes tend to have some bleaching aspects in it. But you don't want to do that with bleach. Something about it, just, I've done it in the past and I've ruined my hair. I don't know what it is, but you just don't just scrub it into your hair. You always want to use a tinting brush. Yes, it can be tedious, especially if you have long hair, and it can take a long time. So after all that, after you haven't waited too long, your hair hasn't, you haven't ruined your, well, even if you've ruined your hair, you can do this next step. But your hair, you rinse, okay, well, that's another thing. Always shampoo your hair after you rinse out the bleach. Shampoo your hair. That will help anything that you might have missed. Shampooing it helps it come out. If you have a clarifying shampoo, I feel like that's even better, or even like a Head and Shoulders, just to help get it out and get all the bleach out of your hair. If you're gonna go and then dye it like one of these fun colors, I don't suggest conditioning it yet. I would condition it after you do one of these. But if that's going to be your final step and you're not going to tone it, which I'll talk to you about toning next, then condition it if that's going to be the last thing you're going to do. So you've finished bleaching your hair and it comes out a little yellowy or orangey. These next tips will only work with a yellow orangey tint. If it still has some brown in it, you might want to wait another day or two and then re-bleach it, and then maybe re-bleach it with only a 10 volume, just so you don't damage your hair even more. So toning, pretty much toning is, all it is putting a purple to counterbalance the yellow and orange tints, and that will help you get to a more platinum, if not a white, depending on the level of yellow. First thing is if it's been a couple days, or you can do it that day too. I tend not to like to do it the same day. If you're going to use sorry, you can even see that, a chemical developer. I say chemical as in if you're going to add developer to it. So this one is one I really like when I am going to do that. It's Wella's, let's get the Wella. This is a T14. T18 is good. I like the one when you're at a beauty supply store and you're looking at all the little tabs of hair, the one that they call White Lady. That one I like. One warning is you leave it in too long, you will have a silver to purple tint to your hair. It will wash out within a couple washes and it will stay white, and you might have to keep it up to keep the white, or more blonde. But this one's good. You can make your own developer by using some purple dye. This is just a shade from my favorite dye brand, Adore. This is their violet gem. It's their 114 is the number of this one, and you mix it with some conditioner. This is just some cheapy Suave dollar conditioner. So when I do this, I put in a bowl as much conditioner I know that is going to cover my whole head without lathering. Just, I know if I just slather it on, it's going to cover every strand of hair. Then I slowly put a couple of drops, mix it, and you want it to come to a, I wish I had an example of what it is, but I don't need to do it yet. You want it to be a light lavender color, almost like maybe like a pastel-y lavender color. A little bit darker is not bad. Just know, just like the Wella, the longer you leave it in, the more purple you put into the conditioner, the more chance of you having some silvery purple tones to your hair. That's just gonna maybe happen when you tone your hair. Another thing is I don't know how long Adore's had this out, but it's called Platinum, and this is pretty much a toner, pretty much what you would make with the conditioner and the purple hair dye. So this is their 150 number of theirs. I love this brand. If you didn't see my hair dyeing video, I don't know if I had to cut it out or not. Adore is my favorite. $6 at my the one store in my county that covers it. 4 fluid ounces, and you don't have to mix any developer in it. Anything that you don't have to mix developer in it. Most of these, like this Adore, Manic Panic, any of these like fun, funky colors, you don't have to mix developer in. You can leave them in your hair as long as you want. But just like the other ones, this one, you may come out with a silvery, purpley tint to it. I personally like that, so that doesn't bother me. But if you want to stay blonde, just don't leave it in that long, and you should be okay. This helps you maybe get over that hump of being afraid. I've had a lot of people come up to me, at, especially at work, and say, oh, I love your hair. I wish I could do that, but I'm afraid to bleach it. You just gotta go for it. You just gotta go for it. Take all the precautions you can and just have fun. Just do your hair. Make yourself happy with your hair. I don't feel normal if I have to have regular hair. I love having funky colors. Some people hate it. I get the weirdest looks, but I love it. And I feel normal. Yeah, I hope you guys take the plunge if you haven't. You know, if you've just been scared and you want to bleach your hair, I hope this helps you take the plunge. I hope this helps you protect your hair and tone your hair and have, you know, fun with it. I can't express that enough. Like, just have fun with your hair if you can, especially if you're younger, but get your parents' permission. I was lucky that I had a mother that let me express myself. Sometimes she didn't agree with it. Sometimes she probably still doesn't agree with it, but she let me express myself for who I am. And I love her for that. Oh my God. But there's a lot of people that don't have that. And my mom's done that for me. I was 16 with electric blue hair, and I loved it. I loved it. I know she hated it, but I loved it. Yeah, so I hope this helps, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video or you like this type of videos. I love having these conversations, and I'm glad I can share it with more people than just the people I know, because they've heard it already. Yeah, and I hope you guys have a great day and have fun. Okay.